You know what? I'll be alright, not because I'm tough or strong, but because I have to be. That's the world, right? You crawl, you bleed, you survive. And for what? To get hit again, maybe harder this time. Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe I'm stubborn. But I'm still here. Standing. People love to talk about pain like it's some poetic thing. It builds character, they say. But they don't know real pain. They don't know the kind that eats you up inside, that makes you scream in your sleep. That's real pain. The kind that twists you until you feel like you can't take another step. But here's the thing, the hardest hits make the strongest comebacks. I'm not just fighting for survival. I'm fighting to rise. I've been knocked down, betrayed, scarred in ways no one can see. People look at me and think I'm fine. They think I'm unbreakable. But they don't know the truth. The truth is, every night I fight to keep it all together. Every day feels like a battle. And this mask I wear, it's the only thing keeping me from falling apart. You ever wonder why we keep going? Why we don't just give up when it hurts too much? It's because that's what warriors do. We keep going even when every step feels like it's tearing us apart. I'm not perfect. I've been broken. But here I am. Standing. I'm still fighting. I've made it through hell, and I'll keep pushing forward. I don't need anyone to tell me I'm strong. I know what I've been through. I know the pain. But I also know that pain doesn't define me. I choose to rise, even when the world wants me to fall. So yeah, maybe I'm scarred. Maybe I'm bruised. But I'm still here. And that's what matters. Not the battles I've lost, but the fact that I'm still standing. I'm still breathing. So, if life knocks me down again, so be it. I'll get back up. Because that's what we do, right? We fight. We rise. We endure. And maybe, just maybe, one day I'll find peace. Or maybe I won't. But for now, I'll keep fighting. I'll keep rising. Some days feel like I'm fighting invisible demons. People look at me, and they see strength. They see courage. They see someone who can handle anything. What they don't see are the nights spent alone, fists clenched, trying not to scream. They don't see the days where I can barely hold myself together, where every breath feels like a fight. They don't see the mask I put on, the armor I wear to keep the pieces of me from falling apart. I know it's not easy. I know it's hard to understand. But this is my reality. Every day, every moment is a battle. And I'm the only one who can fight it. The worst part is that nobody understands how heavy it is to carry this. To pretend like everything's fine when inside, you're falling apart. I've been betrayed, beaten, scarred in ways nobody sees. But no one knows what it's like to carry a burden so heavy that it feels like it's suffocating you. So you push it down, keep it buried. Because if you don't, if you let it all out, everything will crumble. They say time heals all wounds. But what if time just teaches you how to live with the pain? How to function while carrying the weight of everything you've survived? People think being strong means never breaking. But they don't see that strength comes from breaking. From surviving what should have destroyed you. And from rising again, despite it all. I made a promise to myself long ago. A promise that I wouldn't give up, no matter what. I don't care how many times I fall. I'll get back up. Even if I have to crawl. Even if it feels like my body's breaking in half. Because that's what warriors do. We rise, even when it feels like we can't take another step. We fight, even when we're exhausted, broken, and alone. And maybe, just maybe, one day, all this pain will make sense. Maybe one day, I'll find peace. Or maybe I won't. But either way, I'll keep going. Because the moment I stop, that's when I lose. And I can't afford to lose. So, if you've ever counted me out, if you've ever thought I was finished, you're wrong. This isn't the end. This is just the beginning of a new fight. I don't fight for glory. I don't fight for fame. I fight for me. I fight because I don't have a choice. Some people might say, just let it go. But how do you let go of something that's been a part of you for so long? How do you forgive the world for taking everything from you? It's easy to say move on. But for someone like me, it's not that simple. Pain doesn't just fade away. It sticks with you. It becomes part of who you are. It changes you. And maybe that's the hardest part of all. Watching yourself change into someone you don't recognize. Trying to hold on to the pieces of who you were, but knowing that it's all slipping away. But even then, I can't stop. I can't quit. I promised myself I wouldn't. I have to keep fighting, because if I stop, I'll lose everything I've worked for. So, yeah, maybe I don't know who I am anymore. But I know one thing, I'm not giving up. Not yet. Not ever. So here I am, standing alone in this silence, facing the battles only I can see. I don't know what the future holds. Maybe it'll be more pain, more darkness, more of this endless fight. But if that's the price I have to pay to keep going, then I'll pay it. Over and over. Because that's what warriors do. We don't quit. We don't surrender. We keep fighting, even when it feels like the world is against us. Because sometimes, survival is the victory. And maybe that's all I need. The strength to keep going, one day at a time. I'll keep fighting. I'll keep rising. And I'll keep going, no matter what people talk about strength. But what do they really mean? You see, strength isn't about being unbreakable. Strength isn't about never feeling pain. It's about how you respond to it. It's about getting up after every fall, even when it feels like the world has already decided you've had enough. Strength is about pushing through when your body is begging for rest, when your mind is telling you to quit, when everything inside you is screaming enough. That's the real strength. The kind that nobody sees. The kind that keeps you going even when you're falling apart inside. It's in the silence, in the nights where you lie awake, heart racing, wondering if you'll ever find peace. But the thing about silence is that it doesn't last. Eventually, you're forced to face your fears. Eventually, you have to speak up, even if your voice is shaking. Eventually, you have to admit to yourself that it's not just about surviving anymore. It's about something more. It's about finally breaking free. I used to think I was alone in this fight. I used to think that if I just kept pushing through, if I just kept my head down and kept fighting, I'd eventually win. But the truth is, sometimes the hardest battles are the ones you fight alone. There are no cheers, no applause, no one waiting at the finish line to tell you you've made it. It's just you, in the darkness, trying to find your way. The hardest part about surviving isn't the external battles. It's the battle inside. The battle with yourself. The voice in your head that tells you that you're not enough. The one that makes you question everything, every step you've taken, every choice you've made. Sometimes, that voice is louder than anything else. It's the voice that tells you to give up, to stop fighting. It's the voice that convinces you that you're broken beyond repair, that you'll never be whole again. But here's the thing, you have to fight that voice. You have to stand up to it, even when it feels like it's swallowing you whole. Because if you don't, it will take everything. It will rob you of your will to live, your will to fight, your will to survive. I've had days where that voice was the only thing I could hear. It told me I wasn't good enough. It told me I was weak. It told me that I would never find peace, never find happiness. But I've learned something over the years. That voice, it's a liar. And the more you listen to it, the stronger it gets. But if you stop listening, if you refuse to let it control you, it fades. Slowly, but it fades. That's the battle. The battle to silence the noise inside. The battle to remind yourself that you are worthy. Worthy of peace. Worthy of love. Worthy of everything this world has to offer. Even when it feels like everything has been taken from you, I used to think that redemption was about finding peace. I used to think that, at the end of all this pain, there would be a moment of calm, a moment where everything made sense. But now I know redemption isn't about finding peace. It's about fighting for it. It's about fighting for yourself, even when the world has turned its back on you. It's about making the choice to get up, to keep moving, even when every part of you wants to lie down and give up. Redemption is a process, not a destination. It's about learning to accept the pain, to embrace the scars, and to rise despite them. I'll be honest, there are days when I don't know if redemption is even possible. There are days when the weight is too much to carry, when I feel like I'm drowning in my own thoughts. But then I remember, I don't have to have it all figured out. I don't have to be perfect. I just have to keep going. And maybe, just maybe, that's enough. Maybe, just by continuing the fight, by refusing to let the darkness consume me, I'll find redemption. Maybe I'll find peace. Or maybe I won't. But either way, I'll keep fighting. Because that's what warriors do. I've spent so much of my life trying to be strong. Trying to prove to the world that I can handle anything, that nothing can break me. But the truth is, strength isn't about holding everything together. Strength isn't about pretending like everything is fine when it's not. Strength is about being real. It's about acknowledging the pain, the fear, the doubt. It's about letting yourself feel what you're going through, even when it hurts like hell. Because the more you try to ignore it, the more it builds up inside you. The real strength comes when you let yourself feel it all. When you let yourself break, just so you can rebuild yourself stronger.